What's up, everybody? Once again, it's Brand Man Sean on a Saturday morning, of course, and I want to talk about the fact that there's been this narrative for a while now that blogs don't matter, right? Blogs are dead, they're less relevant than they used to be, and of course that's true, but we never talk about where that power and energy has shifted. And today I want to tell you that answer is streaming services. You will probably hear that narrative, in the next year or two, or eventually, that streaming services are the new blogs. And I want to thank Tuco from Music ID TV because I was inspired to do this video when I saw his video earlier this week that the country music industry is really looking at themselves. They're in this state of being in trouble. They're in flux because most of their fans are still buying CDs, and they're trying to get their fans to shift from CDs to streaming services. And when have you ever heard something like that? The country music industry has been looked at more stable and better off because their fans were buying CDs, and they've been, they had those huge profit margins in comparison to streaming services, while other genres were highly pirating music or they were using streaming services. But that's indicative of the power of streaming services and letting you guys know where things are really going. The fact that they're basically saying, don't buy this CD, use this streaming services. Of course, I would love if you do both, but we really need you guys to start using streaming services. So jumping into even some of the structure, I can't really point out, tell people's names and things like that. I always try to be as transparent as possible with you guys, but people don't want to get spammed. A lot of people behind the scenes, they're behind the scenes because they don't want to be superstars, or they don't want to get spammed and or reached out to in mass. And the music industry is always about trust and relationships. But I was talking to a lady a few weeks ago, and she works at Spotify, and she was talking about how she put a song on a playlist, right? She put a song on a playlist and that song was working. So she started putting it on another playlist, and they're just watching the numbers at this point, right? So you might have a gatekeeper in the standpoint of to get on the playlist in the first place. But when they see a song is working, what they do, their job is to now remove their emotion, whether they like it or not. If the song's working, they'll keep trying on another playlist, And she took that route with one song, and that song ended up being Khalid Location. And of course, obviously, we already know what that song is doing. So getting into and in front of fans in the right way, that's really one way that they're representative of the new blogs, right? But before you had fans, you'll find out about songs because people will show you a song. They'll tell you about an artist and they'll write an article on them. But now they have these playlists, and some of them have like 6 million followers or 2 million followers, and just listening to them, I'm listening to a song, and then there's another new song, there's another new song. And when I'm listening to these songs, I'm directly being introduced to a new artist. And if I decide I like this song that I'm hearing while I'm listening to the playlist, I'm just going to look at my phone, and then I can click follow the artist and their entire Spotify right there. So that's even more intuitive and natural when we think about being not only like the new blogs, but more powerful than the old blogs were. Even the fact that they really spearhead marketing campaigns for artists for free when you get in contact with certain representatives. Each region and genre has their own representative, but if you can find the representative for whoever your area is, you basically get in contact with them and tell them all the information for your campaigns. And then if it's time right and they really feel and believe like it looks like you have something going, they basically will spearhead a marketing campaign for free on their platform. That's basically what they did with Future, 2 Chainz. They did this stuff like Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, the billboards in Atlanta that were trap houses in pink. Those weren't 2 Chainz marketing team. That was Spotify. So it's really innovative, the things that a lot of these streaming services are doing. Apple was set up in very similar ways, but I don't know them as in depth, and I don't know any people personally that I've met at Apple Music. But like from everything I'm hearing, they mirror each other very closely. Of course, every company has its own things, but I want you guys to really realize that's where things are going. And some people aren't at the point where they'll utilize Spotify, but just know that when you get there, it's a whole different game. than you might think. It's not just about, hey, I'm gonna go through this distribution network and get my stuff posted on Spotify, because there are like 4 million songs on Spotify with 0 plays. So it's not just about getting it on there, but figuring out how you can get it on a playlist, figuring out how you can start getting your fans to start pushing it. And once the fans start pushing and start listening, they have, you know, basically algorithms saying, hey, these fans are following this person and this person. And then it starts to recommend for playlists. It's a process, but I can't go into all those details in one video. But so I'll just end that there. But anybody who's been asking me about, am I going to do services for September? Yes, I will do services for September. That's the consultation calls, marketing and branding strategies, things of that nature, all the stuff that I did in August. But I will not be doing it in October, most likely. I'm going to say, just because I have a lot of big projects possibly on the table, and October is looking to be a very interesting, good-ass month. And I probably won't have time to just like take in or talk to new people, because I got to focus on the things that I, you know, just life. But so other than that, you guys have a great Saturday, Labor Day morning, all that good stuff. Be cool.